After another explosive fight about money, my dad pointed at me and roared, "He's the parasite draining us dry. If he'd never been born, we wouldn't be trapped in this miserable life." My mom didn't defend me. She just stared coldly and walked away. I walked out that night with nothing but my phone. No one even tried to stop me. Now they regret everything they said. Hey everyone. Before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so I never really post on here, but honestly what happened last week is so wild that I'm still kind of buzzing from it. And also, just like angry in a way, I can't even explain. So I guess this is part vent, part asking if anyone's had something like this happen with their parents before. Not gonna lie, I'm hoping at least a few people get why I did what I did. So for background, I'm Marcus. I'm 24, still living at home because rent is nuts. My parents basically would never let me forget it. Like, every single month, some new reason why I'm the reason the bills are high, or the reason they can't ever save money, or why the house always looks like crap. It's not like I'm just sitting around playing games all day. I cover my phone, I pay for my own food half the time, I do literally all the tech stuff for them. Like setting up their Wi-Fi, fixing their phones, even paying for some apps with my own card, because they don't want to deal with confusing online stuff. But TBH, the whole thing has been building for years. My dad, Floyd, has always been one of those guys who's just angry at the world. Like nothing ever worked out for him, and he's always looking for someone to pin it on. He lost a decent job when I was in middle school, never really got back on his feet. So now he kind of acts like being stuck in this old, falling apart house with my mom, Catherine, and me is some kind of punishment. My mom, she just acts like she's above it all. She's cold, always has been, more worried about what the neighbors think than what's actually going on in her own house. Anyway, all of that is just background. The night itself was next level. So it actually started kind of weird, like not even a bad day. I noticed my dad was being extra silent. Not even fake nice, just silent. Like I walked in and he was on the couch just staring at the wall and didn't even nod or anything. Whatever. Not the first time he's pulled the silent treatment move. I figured he was mad about the internet bill again because I got an email saying the autopay failed, but I was going to fix it after dinner. We're eating, if you can call it that. It was just reheated leftovers. And I'm trying to scroll through TikTok with my volume down, but he's just glaring at me. Like not even eating, just full on staring. My mom's acting like she doesn't notice, picking at her food and looking at her phone under the table. Then he suddenly gets up, walks over to the fridge, opens it, and just stands there. Then he starts going off about how there's never any food, how I eat everything decent and leave nothing for anyone else, and how, back in my day, people respected the roof over their head. I try to ignore it, but he keeps going, and then starts ranting about the electricity bill, how I'm the only one who leaves the lights on, which is a lie. My mom leaves the kitchen light on, literally all night. And then God, he just snaps. He slams the fridge door so hard it bounces open again, comes right up to me and starts yelling about how I'm the parasite draining us dry. Like not even in a low voice, he's going off saying, if I'd never been born, they'd have actually had a shot at a good life, how I ruined everything, and if you weren't here, we wouldn't be stuck in this miserable life. You ever have that moment where you're not even shocked anymore? Just pissed off that he's saying it out loud, not even hiding it. I looked at my mom, expecting her to at least say something like, "That's enough," or "Don't talk like that." But she just looked at me blank, then got up and walked out of the room. Not a word. I kind of lost it to Bah. I stood up so fast my chair fell over, and I just yelled back like, if I'm such a problem, why don't I just leave? And my dad legit just said, "Yeah, go ahead. See if anyone else will put up with you." I know I should have just walked away, but I shoved past him. He tried to grab my arm. I pulled away. He almost tripped over the chair, and then he started yelling at my mom to get back here and see what your precious son is doing. She didn't even turn around, just kept walking towards her room. He started following her, still yelling, and I just stood there for a sec, kind of shaking, then said, "Screw this," and grabbed my phone off the table. Here's the thing. I left my wallet, keys, everything. I literally only had my phone and the clothes I was wearing. Sweatpants, old hoodie, socks, whatever. I walked out the front door, slammed it as hard as I could. I waited for someone to come after me. Nothing. Not a word. Not even a text. I walked down the block, checked my phone. Nothing. I waited outside for 10-15 minutes, just pacing, but still nothing. At one point, I thought maybe my mom would at least call, but nope. Kind of wild how easy it was for them, Tiba. So I start walking, like, no real plan, just away from the house. I'm texting a couple friends, no one's answering. It's a weeknight, everyone's busy. I'm just wandering. It's cold out, and I realize I don't even have my earbuds, which is just typical. I end up at the gas station near the bus stop, just standing there for like an hour, scrolling through random apps, trying to distract myself. But all I can think about is how they didn't even try to stop me. Not one call, not one comeback, nothing. I keep replaying that moment in my head, but every time it just makes me angrier, like not even sad, just rage. How many years did I put up with being their punching bag? For money, chores, tech crap, all of it. And now they just let me walk out like I'm nothing. I finally text my friend Brian, who's not even that close anymore, just to see if I can crash on his couch. He says, "Yeah." So I walk over there. It's like a half hour. My feet are killing me by the end. I get to his place, he's half asleep but lets me in, asks what happened. I can tell he doesn't really believe me at first. Like I think he thinks I'm exaggerating or something. I just show him my texts, none from my parents, all from me to them, nothing back. And he kind of nods, shrugs, tells me to crash in the living room. Neil, sleeping on that busted futon was 10x better than being in that house another minute. So yeah, I haven't gone back. Not even to grab my stuff. My sister texted once, she moved out years ago, barely talks to them, asking if I was okay. But even she said something like, you know how they are. Like it's just a fact of life. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like everyone just expects me to eat it and say thank you. But nah, I've had enough. I'm done. Here's the real kicker. My dad's always treated me like some financial leech because he never really recovered after losing his job. And every time something went wrong, it was because of me. Like if I needed new shoes, it was another expense. If I got sick, it was more money down the drain. I know a lot of people say stuff like parents do their best, but sometimes their best is just not good enough. And when it's not, why should I stick around and keep making their lives easier? Anyway, I'm still figuring out what's next. I'm angry, yeah, but I'm not crawling back just so they can feel better about themselves. If they wanted me gone so bad, they got their wish. But I'm not done yet, not by a long shot. If anyone else ever snapped like this, LMK. I'm not looking for it gets better stuff. Just, does it ever get less infuriating? I'm already planning how I'm going to mess with their lives now that I'm out. Frufter. Stay tuned. Update 1. So yeah, this is Marcus again. If you saw my last post, you know I dipped out of my parents' house with nothing but my phone after my dad decided to finally say out loud what he's probably thought since I was like 12. Parasite draining him dry, all that. Whatever. Still wild to me how easy it was for them. Like I could have walked out into traffic or something and they probably would have just said, well, that solves our grocery bill, lol. Anyway, I crashed at Brian's for a few days, slept on his gross futon, used my phone as a pillow, just running on caffeine and spite. Nangle. I was expecting the classic next morning apology text, or at least something from my mom. Nothing but silence. I checked my phone a million times. Even checked my email thinking maybe they'd try to guilt me with some forwarded chain letter or something. Nope. I guess that's what finally made me snap out of the maybe I'm being dramatic cycle. Like they really didn't care if I was alive or dead. So here's where the revenge part comes in. Maybe this is petty, maybe it's just what I needed. IDC TBH. First off, let me explain. My dad Floyd is useless with anything tech. I set up every account for them. Wi-Fi, online bill pays, Netflix, Spotify, all their streaming. Mom's addicted to those dumb baking shows. Even the damn family phone plan. I'm not saying I paid for it all, just that none of it would work if I wasn't there. Because every time there was an issue, he'd just throw the remote and yell for me. Like he never learned passwords, never set up security questions, nothing. He probably thinks a CAPTCHA is a new kind of coffee. So after a couple days of being ignored, I remembered that literally everything runs through my email. My passwords, my bank card. I'm sitting in Brian's living room eating cold pizza and realize, why am I still doing anything for these people? I started with the autopays. Their electric and water bills have my old cards saved because my dad's never wanted to deal with all that online crap. I log in, delete my info, switch the contact emails back to theirs, and remove myself as authorized. I text my mom just one line, your utilities are your problem now, figure it out. Then I blocked her number, because I knew what was coming next. I went into the streaming stuff. I changed the passwords on everything. Not just changed, but made them so random that even I barely remember them. Like, full keyboard smash energy. I logged out all devices, so when they tried to watch their shows, they'd get that lovely please sign in page and no way to reset the password because it all goes to my phone. Probably took them a full day to realize that the phone plan, this one was sweet. Family plan in my name because I got the student discount years ago. I called and said I wanted to split the lines, take mine off and leave the rest. The guy on the phone said sure, but it'd reset their billing and they'd have to set up their own account from scratch, which means new credit check, new activation, everything. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm guessing my dad had to actually go into the store and talk to someone. Have fun with that, old man. Oh, and the best part, he ordered some stuff on Amazon last week. Used my Prime because he's too cheap to pay for shipping. I went in and canceled the orders, then called customer service and said my account had been used without my permission. They refunded everything, to my card, not his. Not illegal, just, let's say, poetic. It didn't take long for it to hit them. First, I get a string of texts from my mom, blocked, so they come through as email notifications. She's going off. How could I be so childish? I'm making things harder for everyone. Don't I care about family obligations? Lol, okay. Now you care about family, Catherine? I didn't respond. Then I get a call from my dad's number, but it's actually my sister, Kelly. She's yelling at me that the Wi-Fi is out, the streaming's locked, the lights are going to get shut off if they don't pay today, and why am I being such a jerk? I tell her flat out, they wanted me gone, so I'm gone for real. Not just out of the house, but out of their lives. She tries to say I'm just making things worse for myself, but I can tell she's only saying it because mom's in the background. I gotta say, it felt good. Like not even guilty. Just good. Here's where it gets even more messy. Word gets around our neighborhood fast. My mom is big on her Facebook groups. She's always posting about church events or whatever, So when people start noticing their house looking rough, uncollected mail, trash piling up, lights off at night, people start talking. I'm not even trying to stir the pot, but some old lady from down the street messages me on Messenger. Haven't talked to her in years. Asking if everything's okay with my parents, worried about them. I just tell her straight up, they kicked me out. I'm not their problem. Then someone else tags me in a comment on a local group asking if I know why my mom's not at church lately. I don't even answer, but I see people speculating, and I don't know. It's satisfying to know they can't just hide behind the fake family image anymore. My dad finally tries calling me himself. I let it go to voicemail. He leaves this angry, rambling message about how I'm ruining their lives. How could I do this? How dare I embarrass him? Not one single word about what he actually said to me. Just angry that I'm not there to clean up his mess. Brian thinks I'm going overboard. He's like, you gotta be careful. They're still your family. Don't burn every bridge. But honestly, I don't care. I spent years being their fix-it guy, their scapegoat, their free tech support. And when I finally stand up for myself, they act like I'm the villain. It's wild how fast people show you who they are when you stop making things easy for them. The only thing that's kind of annoying is that now my sister's group chatting me with her friends, trying to guilt me into going back and just fixing the Wi-Fi or helping mom with her phone. Like, no, I'm not moving a finger for them. Ever again. So yeah, I guess this is my new life now. I'm sleeping on couches, working random gigs, but at least I'm not cleaning up after people who hate me. My dad can figure out how to pay a bill for once. My mom can explain to her Facebook friends why she can't host Bible study anymore. The revenge isn't even close to over. I'm just getting started. If they wanted to see what life is like without their parasite, they're about to get the full experience. Might sound harsh, but I'm done being the family punching bag. Next time I hear from them, it better be to apologize. Oh wait, who am I kidding? They'll just blame me for everything again. Anyway, I'll update if anything major happens. For now, just know that sometimes the best feeling in the world is watching people finally deal with the mess they made for themselves. Let's see how long they last without me. Finally, subdate. Here's the update. No one in my family would believe is real, but I swear it's all exactly how it went down. It's been a little over a month since I noped out of my parents' house with nothing but my phone and a charger I grabbed from Brian's place. I got a tiny studio now. Not like fancy, but at least it's mine. No one slamming doors or yelling about the electric bill every second. Honestly, the silence is weird sometimes, but I'll take it over what I had. Been working 2 gigs, pretty much always tired, eating way too much takeout, but whatever. It's better than living with people who actually said out loud that they regret I was born. And yeah, I see some of you in the comments on the last post like, how can you just cut off your parents like that? Aren't you worried about them? Nah. If you knew Floyd and Catherine, you wouldn't ask. Anyway, this week things got even more wild. I've been getting these weird texts from numbers I don't have saved. Just random complaints like, the gas bill's overdue, do you know the login for the Wi-Fi? Where's the code for the TV streaming? How do I get into the Netflix account? Can you come help us set up the new phone line? You would think after all this time they'd realize I'm not their tech support anymore. But nope, it's all just fix this, fix that. No apology, no explanation, just demands. I'm not even answering anymore. Block them all. And then out of nowhere, I get a DM from this guy Harlow, who lives a couple houses down from my parents. Haven't talked to him since we were like 15. He just messages me, hey, is everything okay with your parents? The house looks rough. Catherine's been crying in the front yard. People saying Floyd was yelling at some utility guy. I just reply, not my problem anymore. They kicked me out. He gives me the classic, that sucks man, but they're your family spiel. I leave it on read. So I guess things got messy. I didn't even think about how much stuff I used to do for them. All the little daily things. Figured they'd have to figure it out eventually. But nah. My sister Kelly texted me last week, all in caps, saying the trash hasn't been picked up because they didn't pay some online thing, and the internet's been out for days, and Dad tried to fix the router and ended up unplugging the fridge instead. She says Mom's been talking to herself, barely leaves the bedroom. Floyd's losing it because he can't get into his own email. She tells me, just come back for a day, fix it all, then you can leave again. I don't get why you're making this harder than it has to be. I just reply, you all made it clear I'm not one. Figure it out. I can tell she's mad, but I don't care, I'm not going back. You want to treat me like a ghost? Fine. You get a ghost. I started hearing from people around town more too. My mom's church friends, people I barely know, messaging me asking if I can help Catherine with her phone or her Facebook account, saying she's been missing meetings, crying in the parking lot, stuff like that. Some lady even showed up at my door with a casserole, saying she heard I was having a hard time and maybe I should call my mother. I thanked her, but no way I'm calling. It's like everyone's suddenly worried about them. When I lived there and got screamed at every other night, nobody said a word. The real kicker was last night. I'm coming home from work, it's late, I got grocery bags in both hands, and I see my mom's car parked right across from my apartment building. At first I thought it couldn't be her, but then I see her through the windshield, slumped over the wheel. I walk up and she's full on sobbing, like ugly crying, banging the steering wheel with her fists. I just stand there for a sec, not sure if I should even go near her, but she spots me, gets out, and starts walking toward me crying even harder, saying she's sorry, she's scared, she doesn't know what to do. Floyd's impossible. The house is falling apart. She needs my help. She's got mascara all down her face. Her hair is a mess. It's honestly the worst I've ever seen her. She tries to push past me to get into the building, saying she just wants to talk. Can't I please let her in? Can't we just fix things? I step in her way. Tell her I'm not letting her. She's not coming up, and if she keeps yelling, someone's going to call the landlord. She tries to slap me. Not even hard, just desperate. And I block her hand. Tell her to go home. She starts yelling that I'm ungrateful, that I'm ruining the family, that I'm all she has left. But I just hold the door and tell her, you made your choice. Now live with it. She finally gives up, sits on the curb and just cries. I stand there, holding the door, watching her. People are staring from the windows. After a few minutes, she gets up, gets back in her car, slams the door so hard I hear something rattle, and drives off. I go inside, put my groceries away, and turn my phone off for the night. I knew she'd try calling again, but I'm done. So yeah. Now the whole world is seeing what happens when the parasite leaves. The house is falling apart, bills aren't paid, no one knows how to do anything, and everyone's suddenly worried about Catherine and Floyd. But when I was there, all I got was blame. Now they get to feel what it's like to be alone, to not have someone fixing everything for them. Call me harsh. IDF. They wanted me gone, now they get it. And for anyone who thinks I'll cave and go back, nah, this isn't a movie. There's no coming back from what they said. I'm not their tech support, not their therapist, not their scapegoat. Let them figure it out. I'm moving on. I got my own place, my own life. And for the first time ever, they have to actually deal with the mess they made. I don't know what happens next. Maybe they get it together, maybe they don't. Not my problem. But I promise you, I'm not going back. Not now. Not ever. If you needed a sign to cut off toxic family, I guess this is it. They regret it now? Too late.